tools against that, but they have so many good ways to deal with TB from far away as well, and so many disabled.
Well, they're certainly excited. We're getting all those voice lines right out
Yes.
here in the open before everything gets started. I think
We
it's
have
important
a
too to note they've worked with HFN for a little bit. I think it's been on trial. So we do have a Brazilian on the side of the NI squad, which is kind of
mhm.
interesting too.
Yeah,
But
it's cool
I'm
to
a
see
little
the blending happening more.
yeah, it's nice to see a lot of these SA players, right? Lelis getting picked up too over on Quincy Crew. But I'm a
Mhm.
little concerned just because of like knowing Bryle's style and the way that he likes to play. This isn't necessarily the flashiest hero. It's not really slippery. He prefers to play, very aggressive. Is this going to be the right hero for him to be able to really make plays here, do you think?
Which hero is Brawl playing right now?
Zeus.
The Zeus.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's pretty good this game. I mean, there's some worries, mainly like an Ember Spirit jumping forward and disabling him when he's out of position, or if they're getting bench swap back, he's almost always dead, or maybe getting dueled. But other than that, there aren't that many big gap closes, actually. And that's usually what you're worried about when you're playing Zeus. So ideally, what you want is somebody in front of you causing disruption. You can just sit back and spam the nukes. And he's got a really good team for that, between an offlane Kunkka, between a Faceless Void, and an Undying as well. So, and there's ways to protect him if he does get jumped. So I think he's got a pretty good game situation, even with that last pick Legion that might have some lane advantage against him. I
Yeah, well,
think another
definitely.
thing that could be scary is mid ganks early on. I already said Legion has mobility advantages, but what if there's like a TP in from Nature's Prophet with a smoke gank from someone else? That's something that he's gonna have to worry about for sure. But in later stages of the game, I think it could be okay.
For sure, you can see that Wu's got a great win right here, MJZ. In fact, they're going to go and put a little pressure over here on HFN right away. It's going to be pretty hard for them to get this first blood,
Really
I
good.
think, but he's holding on. Are they going to go for it? He's got the Fairy Fire. They've got the trees tanking a little bit, but looks like HFN going to be fine. We'll sacrifice one of those little treants over there from Frank.
That was super worth it for them. I mean, they spent a little bit of mana on 3 heroes, and he loses a salve worth of regen. So good way to start the lane for sure. The other important thing is that decay in that lane isn't going to be that incredible, actually. I mean, it's against a Vengeful Spirit and an Ember Spirit. Neither of them are strength heroes, so yes, their HP is going to be a bit lower, but Faces Void has almost no offensive potential anyways, other than right click, so like they just really don't have a good way to fight back. Undyne's going to use his body and lower some strength and all, but it's just not going to be super effective there. I'm sure he wishes he had a different support.
Well, unfortunately, he's got what he has, and he's going to have to do the best that he can with it. But quite a high percentage win rate over there on Leo's style, playing the Legion command. I'd be interested to know if that's only in the mid lane, or if he does play it elsewhere. But bottom lane, making some moves here over here on Keizu, trying to stun him up. They pop the meta as per usual, but not going to
This
be
is
able
good.
to do much more beyond that.
Like it might feel like a really small moment, but what's important is that generally TB is going to want to transform in the first wave anyways to get better last hits and denies, and they also got some harass in with the same little move, and all it took was a little bit of a surprise TP by bench. I like that.
She's taking a lot of harass over here coming out from Moon, so does have to be careful. But has relieved some of that pressure off of MNZ, so he's going to be able to hit those creeps fairly easily and not have to deal too much with Moon Meander.
Yeah. Now that his meta is gone, it's going to be a lot easier for Keizu to approach here. As you can see, he moves up instantly. He'll have a more normal laning stage. Brawl going for 1 point in his arc laning, 1 in his passive, just so that he can deal a lot of damage to Legion. And the other advantage that Legion has is just a whole lot of regen, either whether it's life stealing off of creeps or skilling his second ability. He should be able to sustain that harass. But it'll be an interesting balance between regen and mana regen, basically.
You can see how Leo Styles playing just very aggressive over here. It's typical for his particular style, so I'm not surprised to see it. And it is going to be a little difficult for Bryle. He's going to have to be careful that he doesn't overestimate, the amount of damage that Legion can put out, or the fact that, like you said, she does have ways of lifestealing and staying in this lane. So.
We'll curious to see what way she goes, what way he goes with this skill build, but I'm sure no matter what it is, it'll be fine. 4-position Ember Spirit can be in a harder time now. That AUI is the support that he has to fight another melee hero, and he's gone boots first, so he can always stay away from him, but trading hits is not going to feel very good. So he'll probably just do his best to try to deny experience gain, steal last hits, not die, that kind of thing. Ooh, this looks really choicey when he's got boots of speed. This is at least 1 courier kill, I think, unless they microwave good. Oh my god.
He's got his dancing shoes on. He's not going to be able to get it this time.
That was great. Really well done. Yeah, I
He
don't
wanted
think
it,
he'll be
though.
able to clean it up here.
Oh,
Yeah, AOI is
never
on
say
top of that,
never.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
he's
knows,
looking.
knows. AUI knows where he is. It's fine.
This is a Matthew special, though. He's been playing a lot of Ember and Void in many of the games, and he's phenomenal with this particular hero. So even though, the laning's not going super comfortable for him, I have a feeling we are going to see some really awesome plays from him as the match goes on.
Yeah, and it is slightly weak for Frank here. He's only got 8 last hits on the Nature's Prophet already, so doing a little bit weaker, but it's basically same story for both sides of the map. Off lane's a little bit behind the carries, and everyone else is pretty much equal, so it's a really, really close game right now.
I think what's going to be very interesting to me is the fact that you have HFN over on Crazy, and you've got MNZ down here. Although, ooh, that's a lot of harass over here. Just salve up, no problem. Nothing lost. But, it does come down to, who is better for this particular patch, because it's definitely a farming patch, but at the same time, you get a lot of gold from kills, and that's one thing I feel HFN has always struggled with. He's one of those super carries that really likes to farm, stay in the jungle, and doesn't necessarily pop out earlier on, whereas I feel like MNZ has a better handle on that. But I don't know. Perhaps, the rest of the team will be able to back it up. Owie, getting treed up over here.
On the bright side for that, one good thing about this is that Void has a really straightforward gank, right? It's like, is my ultimate up or almost up? Yes? Okay, I should gank. So that might make it a little bit simpler for him to be organized, because a lot of their strategy is going to be surrounding Chronospheres. So that can help solve some of that problem, generally. Because it's not like Void is easily going to just like do a really casual kill on a support in the middle of the jungle without using Chronospheres. So maybe it fits his playstyle a little bit more. Probably not. Generally, that would be seen as a bad thing.
Yes, that would definitely be seen as a bad thing. But yeah, like you said, I mean, does it come down to also being able to play around these cooldowns too, when you know that HFN doesn't have a Chronosphere?
Yeah, that's actually one of the biggest weaknesses for Crazy is Chronosphere cooldowns. Zeus's ulti has a much longer cooldown now, so that can be a little bit less burst damage, and Tombstone as well. So playing around those is going to be an impact for sure for Thunder Predator. The only really big cooldown they have to worry about is Metamorphosis, so it should be a lot easier for them to play quicker and try to make map pressure if those cooldown fights don't go so well for Crazy.
Well, you know what's going to end up happening.
What?
Well, that's your job. No, I'm just kidding around. But if you've watched Thunder Predator before in the past, Matthew is extremely active. You've got a Nature's Prophet on Frank the Tank over there, who's going to be making moves, making ganks happen. And then, of course, you've got Leo's Style on this Legion Commander. They are going to try to make Brow's life a living hell. And already, it's happening. It's starting. You've got, the gank over in mid lane. You've got Matthew here. They're making the TPs. Leo Style has to be careful. He's sitting very low to this tower. It's a good rotation coming out here from Keizu. He's going to try to just push him off. You do manage to go and get the courier kill, but that's forced to TP out from the side of Crazy.
That was an intimidating amount of damage that came out of that Zeus ulti. And this Zeus is skilled 302, by the way. Like, all about laning effectively and easy, cheap harass. So his ulti did a stupid amount of damage there. And they just didn't quite have enough levels really to get him killed. His juking was pretty solid. But they'll go back to normal stuff now.
Already you see that
Frank
and Matthew made their way back up top. And I think the big thing, like, they know that they want to put the pressure on HFN, but obviously Bryle is going to be coming online a lot earlier. So I think, the idea is take out Bryle, give him a lot of stress, and then put extra stress then on HFN because he doesn't have that breathing room.
Yes, and it's also really hard for them to gank a Faceless Void until they start getting Duel, for example, or more levels of Searing Chains, because they just don't, or an Orchid or something, they don't have the lockdown. MNZ here in a lot of trouble,
MNZ is not looking very healthy, but it looks like he's going to be able to walk away. The duel's coming out over here. They've got Bryle, and that's going to be the first duel victory for Leo Style. Going to be feeling really happy about that.
That's a perfect time for See You Later, nerds. I'm really unfortunate. That's one of the negatives of not having Lightning Bolts skilled there. If he's got Lightning Bolt, he can get vision with it, but for the chain lane, you need to have vision there. He went for the kill knowing he just needed one more cast, but he couldn't hit it. And then he ends up getting dueled. Good counter rotation by the Legion Commander to match that, because other than that, it looked really bad there for the Terrorblade.
Yeah, that was definitely a very much surviving by just a hair, it felt like. But classic,
so
we do end up having... I'm okay at Whack-A-Meepo. I'm better at musical chairs. And the, what was it, the Finding one?
The Finding one's pretty fun.
I'm a fan of that one.
I,
Oh no, now
I'm
we
a
won't
fan
be
of.
able to see who's gonna win Whack-A-Meepo.
Nobody was playing. I'm a big
Oh
fan
gosh.
of listening to just the Meepo noise. I just put it on loop. It's usually what I sleep to. Is that weird?
No, that's perfectly normal, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Okay. Kazoo level 5 here, so needs the magical level 6 to be more effective at getting kills, but it'll be a lot easier to clean up the Terrorblade afterwards. One really nice thing about the Zeus, and one reason that they're ganking him, is because he is a lot easier to gank than most other heroes. But top level players, you know, they try not to get out of position. And the other nice thing about the Zeus is that he's going to do a lot of damage against the Terrorblade. Having that burst to combo with some of their other damage means that swap is like going to be extremely important. Not to mention soul rate in this game. If I'm sorry, I'm slightly confused on that. But swap is a huge deal to keep TB alive from these burst moments against Kunkka and Chronospheres. So it's a lot of it's going to come down to the positioning for the bench on whether or not they're going to be successful in surviving these burst team fights.
Yeah, you've got to pray too that you're able to burst down this Terrorblade fast enough. But they do go for a smoke. They're making their way up towards this top lane, hoping to maybe get the capture over here on Frank. TP over to the tower. Right now, Frank seems like he's feeling pretty confident. We'll open up, and this is not looking good for our friend Nature's Prophet. Get a nice bash right after that. Leo Style finding another kill, though, on Kazoo in the other lane. And they tree him up, but they'll go for the Chronosphere. They don't... Do they have enough here? Yes, they do. All right.
Yeah. They did not want to have the Chrono there. That's why they let it get so far. But I think HFN had used a Quelling Blade just to enter the trees. It's usually a good idea to do this. That way you can have better vision on them as they juke. But then the Sprout came afterwards. His Quelling's not up for a couple seconds, and he knew a TP was about to come. So he was forced a Chronosphere there. So generally a good play by Prophet to force Chronosphere at least so it can't be used on somebody else. So now when he comes back to lane, he doesn't have to be as scared. And yeah, a duel happened in the meantime as well.
Yeah, I think you're very happy right now if you're Thunder Predator, because you didn't have to drop any of your huge spells. You're able to get a quick pick off over on KZ. That's someone who's going to be making space as well, and just letting HFN have that breathing room. So if you can use the least amount of resources and still get the same results, you're very happy. And look at this. This is what I love about Leo Style. He's so aggressive.
See, what usually bothers me when I do this is that I like to fight all the time, but then I don't always farm enough. Holy crap.
Bye-bye, Matthew.
What an absolute explosion. Triple Null Talisman is the way to go, I guess.
Null Tally, they're going to go in for the duel, though, over on the Undying, and they've got the damage. The boat comes in. It's a little too late. Get a nice little tip out there for Leo Style.
His speed was ridiculous. Phase, drum, and overwhelming odds. I thought he had haste rune. Gets the kill and runs down 30 damage at 10 minutes. This is like one of those Legion problems. It's like good players won't let you get a bunch of duels off, but he's already got 3.
All right, Purge, I want a video where you play Legion Commander mid after watching this, if they went okay.
Okay. Only if it's turbo again. Drag the MMR down so it's easy for me.
Whoa, dude. Come on now. How you gonna do me like that?
Sorry. My first turbo game in 9 months. I gotta talk about it once in a while. AFK farming here for Terrorblade.
You have to play on pro servers.
Ooh, that's gonna be harder.
That's the trade. Yeah. Not
see.
so tough now. Everybody's gangster on US East, but when we force you to play on the pro servers, not as much. Okay, smoke coming out though from the side of Crazy.
No Zeus ulti, but everybody else they might have seen it, and it does look like they're moving towards that area. They broke smoke on Undying. I don't know if they noticed yet, and now is that moment where you're like, oh shit, they know.
Here they go. We're going right back in again. It's a nice torrent though, slows them down a little bit, but they've got the Metamorphosis. That's more dual damage for our friend Leo Style here as Kazoo forced to run away, as is Brile. And that's something
really
Matthew
well
does excellent, is he's always usually the one who breaks those smokes. Very good positioning from Matthew here. HFN, he's thinking about it. He's looking at him.
I saw his hands go up, but he's like, there's no one else here. And then being able to kill the tankiest guy in the enemy team was going to be a little bit too much. That's a pretty good snipe. Takes out the old movement speed item.
Ooh. All right, I heard those drums. I thought we were, it was go time again, but...
Leo was thinking about it for sure.
Radiant structures are
So they're
fortified.
basically just like looking for kills,
Radiant's
looking
top
for pressure
tower is
opportunities. The
under
world's
attack.
positioning really safely, so it's doing a good job here. Last hit on no, didn't even go for it.
Radiant's top tower
Running
has
for his
fallen.
life.
He knows he's there. He has the sentry ward, and that's
That's true.
another Chronosphere forced out from HFN, but
Radiant's
it's used
middle
very
tower is
defensively,
under
which
attack.
means he's got to be playing scared right now. He can't safely go and farm without being worried that somebody's gonna jump him and go for a duel or whatnot. He doesn't have
Yeah,
that exit strat anymore.
I think he maybe chronoed there because he didn't know exactly how close the Legion was. Legion was probably close. So like from our perspective, it looked a little bit of a waste, but him not dying is still really effective, especially since he just picked out Midas. He's just trying to buy some time. They feel comfortable getting TB kills later in the game, so less deaths on him and nobody else on the team dying. They're gonna be in a good place.
Right now,
I do
looking
like
at
this.
the net.
Sorry, I do like the phase drum build on Legion though, because it allows him to basically be very mobile without needing to buy Blink Dagger, and then he can go straight into Blade Mail. Um, it'll be useful, but he might need Blink eventually, or Shadow Blade.
I think this just gives him the opportunity to not have to rely on, his blink getting canceled or whatnot. Plus, having a Shadow Blade is great, but if the Zeus gets to jump on you first, it's not going to really matter. A little bit of a fight coming out. They dropped the tombstone. I'm not sure if they still want to go. Oh, that's a good slide coming through with the chains. In goes Leo style. They'll go. They'll use the Zeus ulti, but it's not enough to get the save, is it? They'll still be able to go and save Aoi, and they're not going to be able to get it. Leo style now taking so much damage is going to get taken down by Brile.
I actually can't believe the AOI is alive. That was insane. Super
It's a good swap.
closer.
Tower is under
Him popping his
Close.
ulti was perfect. Yeah, the swap. Wait, that was
Radiant
that just not a bad
structures are
swap? Am I
fortified.
crazy? Because the swap I thought saved Undying. It bought Undying time, I feel like.
I'm not sure if perhaps they
Radiant's
made a
middle
misclick
tower
there.
is under
I heard the
attack.
swap, but there was a lot going on.
Yeah, I think they swapped Undying, and I think that was a mistake because he felt like he was about to die anyways, but that was weird. Very weird. Maybe tried to swap him closer to somebody else to deal damage, but I think but by swapping him, then they separated Legion Commander and Undying, and Legion was just going to kill him by himself. Dude's got plus 30 damage right now, so it's a little weird for sure.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was just an awkward swap. And I know that they are playing on ping too, which can also be a little bit of an issue, but that's a pretty big oops to make there because Crazy's very happy about that
Yes.
that trade-off. And again,
Looking
Matthew,
for a fight here.
MJZ getting X'd up. Gonna get thrown up in the air. They go and they'll be able to purge it off of MJZ. Casey's still looking. They've got the magic missile though. Are they gonna be able to run away? Nope, that's the lightning bolt coming in, and that's a bounty rune for
Dire's
Casey.
top tower has fallen.
I like what they did with this rotation. I like Kezu's items as well. Phase, Bracer 1, normal stuff. Then he picks up the fast Helm of Iron Will to give him lots of regen and armor to make all these early fights. And his naturally stupidly high HP just makes his life go a lot longer. So he can be the guy to run in the front. He can run and initiate, and his team can follow him up.
It does feel like, Brile and HFN sitting at the top net worth for their team. Terrorblade obviously super, at the top, but and we changed the stats, so I can't. That's enough about that apparently. But how concerned are you? Do you feel like the late game is more favored to the side of Crazy because of the fact that you can get these big nukes off and just make Terrorblade a non-factor, or because they have infinite scaling? Matthew, wrong place, wrong time, my friend.
So I like that they have, yes, they have much more net worth on the TB, and that's really effective and all, but because they have pretty strong lockdowns between like Rubik and Void and Kunkka, that definitely gives them some good TB options. But I guess at this point I'm feeling, other than the fact that Zeus is having a really good game with his 4 kills, I'm feeling okay about the TB. Again, as long as they have a swap in there and he gets a BKB at a reasonable time, then he can actually do really good in some of these team fights. Because once he's BKB'd, there isn't very much that can stop him other than Chronosphere. And as long as he gets like a butterfly at a reasonable time, Void might have some trouble killing him as well. So they've got options for sure. Now queuing up the Blink Dagger after the Blade Mail, now that the movement speed will start losing some effectiveness, that'll make it a lot easier for them to win fights. If they can do things like Blink duels on Void, they can win almost every engagement.
They'll be able to go and find Aoi over here, going for the duel. There should be some more duel damage coming out for Leo style. 70 now at 17 minutes in.
Dire's bottom tower is under
That is
attack.
huge amount of damage. Really good for him. He's got to be happy
Big
where he's
point.
at. There's the
Here
ward.
it
They see him.
is, going in. We'll be able to grab 2 of these heroes over here, but there's a swap coming out to be able to save Frank. It's not looking so good, though, for Leo Style, as he's trying to run away. He's got the blade mail up. Another swap coming out. Now, are they going to be able to walk away from this? MJZ will get taken down. It's a swap, though, stolen from Moon Meander. They're going to be able to put Leo Style right back in again, but he's still life. He's still life stealing. Is he going to be able to find this kill? It's not going to be able to happen. Bryle goes down. Moon Meander goes down. KZU now trying to just run away, throws out that boat, but the rest of the team is hot on his trail. And Matthew coming forward, he's got the Searing Chains, they've got the meta, they should have this damage, one more hit, and that's a double kill for MNZ.
Really, really good fight there by Thunder Predator. The swaps were excellent on both sides, actually. Perfect timing, let the Prophet take a little bit of damage, then you swap him out. That way the Chrono runs out, he keeps his Legion Commander safe for a while, but and they got the Zeus kill also, so that was just all across the board. Really good for them, I think. It's going to keep the net worth about even. Void going for Mjolnir now as his TB solution. He's going to need some AoE. It'll also increase his farm speed. Decent choice there. Musical chairs, Moxie's best.
Oh,
Do you
man,
just like
I
it
would-
because there's music? Is that what this is
I would
about?
body you guys in that. I'm so good at the musical chairs.
Okay. I don't even like that one that much, but it's fine. You can beat me at it.
Yep.
Most
Good,
of them are
'cause
like
it don't happen.
moderately fun, but it's very easy just to press hide every time, you know?
That's true.
Just go on with your life. Especially when you're in a pro game. Believe it or not, they don't play Whack-A-Meepo in matches that really mean stuff. But
That's too bad. I'd be,
interesting.
I would be down to cast Whack-A-Meepo, get really hyped up about it.
Yes, well, that should be like a bonus content for a tournament. Like, get everybody into a lobby and like see how they do against each other. Like, who's got the best Whack-A-Meepo in the pro scene, you know?
Everyone was posting that that clicking software, right? Trying to see how fast the reaction time is. Isn't that what Whack-A-Meepo basically is? Just a little wackier?
I think so. I didn't play it, so I don't know. It's like the game Osu. It's like computer DDR, you know? It's very simple or similar. Like, you have
Just
to
for
click somewhere on your
non-weebs.
screen. Yes, exactly. It would be the the online test one.
Are you a weeb
AUI.
purge?
Am I a weeb? No, I would not use the word weeb.
I don't know. I think
It's
you watch
very safe
anime,
for me
right?
not. I'm sorry, I can't hear what you're saying. There's a billion chat lines going on right now. What'd you say?
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you watch anime.
I watch tops 4 animes a year. I'm not a weeb.
Dire's middle tower
Debatable.
Tops.
Debatable.
And it's
But
only mainstream stuff. Oh, we have a replay here.
yes, we do.
What a great
Now we're watching
duel.
this, trying to see that swap. Huh, they swapped Leo style out. It wasn't...
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, he swapped his
Yeah.
ally to safety. I see.
I guess he thought he was gonna die, but he was still mid-duel, so he had to go headed back.
Maybe he thought he
Huh.
would like kill him a little bit faster or something like that.
Well, that's a great D ward, bros. Gotta be super happy. Doesn't even have to waste the mana to like check it either. It's just
That's
a sentry
true.
ward there.
That was just so much damage. New Zeus ulti, man. It's a lot.
He's just flexing right now, you know?
So Aether Lens straight into Ags. Okay. I generally go a lot of defensive items on Zeus because I get out of position all the time, and I find that helps me win. But maybe just the triple null into Aether Lens, just so you can sit so far back that you never die. Maybe that's the solution. Now he'll
I
get
mean,
Ags
yeah,
every single
Purge, you,
time.
you just gotta get good. I mean, you said that you're out of position.
Yes.
You acknowledge you're out of position. So
Yep.
look at Bryle. Everything he does is deliberate, man.
Yep.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
By being good, he can play safer and buy good items. Who knew? Ooh, the
a
treads
beautiful
on
thing.
9. Very good. Haven't seen that often, but it is effective. Works well with his ulti. He has really shitty agility, so increased attack speed can be nice too. Tread switching, it's beautiful. Gonna smoke into the enemy team. They actually
Ooh.
find MNZ here.
Oh, but Matthew slowing them down just a little bit. They still have the X going on. HFN, he doesn't even want to go for the Chrono, it looks like. Is going to try to burst him down. They do need to be careful, though. He's got the Thunder turns back around over onto HFN. Oh, no, he walks into the
Little late.
crossfire, but he doesn't have enough damage. He's not going to be able to do anything. As Frank on the back lines, they've got the eyes, they've got the duel going. They want this dual damage, and by God, they're going to get it as they take him down to KZ. Trying to run away, he's just CC too hard. It's not going to survive this. And they're
There
still
was just-
looking. Matthew and Frank, they see Moon Meander. Do they have the damage? Indeed, they do.
Turn them
That's
into a
a
bunch of
roach.
trees. That was like perfect scenario, right? Fighting near Roche, winning the fight handily, and meta was used already, so you don't even waste it to take Roche. It's really perfect circumstance. But their ability to kill TB just wasn't there. I mean, it was a Rubik and an Undying who aren't going to do massive damage, and a Void who in Midas first, he's building Maelstrom, but like his damage is not incredible. Terrorblade has 32 armor. He just finished his Scotty here. He's just massively increased his personal survivability. And the reason he did this is so that he's a little bit less vulnerable against heroes like Zeus. He knows he's going to get chronoed anyway, so he just wants to make himself really survivable, I guess.
I mean, this is one of the issues that I mentioned early when we started the match, is that HFN is an incredible player, but he's not known for being super active early. And as you can see with the items that he's picked up, he's playing more towards the late game. He's playing it a bit greedier. And because of this, he doesn't have the damage. And I know we talk about, you know, having the Zeus, how much damage he can output, but if he's not prepared and he's not ready, they're not going to be able to take down MNZ.
Yeah, it can be pretty scary here. And I don't even... Zeus wasn't there at the start of the fight either, obviously. He was remote somewhere else. So basically everybody but Zeus, and that's probably the hero they needed the most. Because if they caught him that out of position and Zeus can cast like 2 rounds of basic abilities and then Chrono comes out, then that's probably a dead TB if Venge isn't there. But he got the Sunder off right before the Chronosphere when things were starting to get dangerous, and it was just perfect timing.
Ooh, as Leo Style finds himself another kill on Bryle. And it looks like Owie is just gonna be chased down very slowly but surely by MNZ. They've got their eyes on Moon Meander. He's stuck in the trees. The stun comes out. Matthew zips through. He was hoping to snipe that, but it's gonna be Frank who gets the kill.
So that observer ward that you can see over on the dire side of the map by the tri-camp, that's the one that he used to grab the Zeus kill. And this last like 10 seconds is like one of those moments where, as crazy, you're just thinking like, we are losing this game really badly now. Like, all of our ganks have been semi-effective, but they've been killing supports most of the time. We haven't been able to get a successful, good fight against the enemy team with all of our team fight abilities. And frankly, they just don't have quite enough damage yet.
MNZ is just literally running at HFN. They'll hold him in place. He's forced to use the Chrono. Pick down a little bit. They do have a decent amount of damage, but it's not going to be enough again. And the tip comes out from Matthew.
That's like the second or third defensive Chrono he's had to use this game.
And even the ones that have been a bit aggressive have not paid off, really. I think there was only one in the top lane where he was forced to use it on Frank. It's not how you want to be using these.
Yeah, I would agree. Most of the Chronos have not felt incredible. It's definitely true.
How much dual damage does this Legion have?
It's gotta have like 100 at this point.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Wow, look at all the armor Kunkka's picking up, just trying to be the tanky guy. Help keep his team alive against the TB damage.
But I guess the problem with that becomes, where's your damage coming from then, other than Bryle? Because, oh boy, I heard the blade mail, and I knew that Leo Style was hunting. I couldn't even see HFN. And look at this, they're full on, just curious where he is. I heard a swap though too.
Yeah, swap on Undying.
Leo Style says, well, you're not who I wanted, but I'll take it. 130 dual damage at 24 minutes.
Yes, that part is really good. And he's got Blink, he's going into Shadow Blade. They don't even really need BKB because the only major disables that are BKB block that are worth blocking are basically Kunkka's. Maybe Rubik's. Everybody else is more like team fight, nuke stuff. That's not great against BKB. So they will spot him. I don't think they have duel yet, so no catch there. His Mjolnir does finish at least, so his damage is starting to be respectable, but I think it's hitting the right path in that he's a little bit underfarmed from where he needs to be to really control the game with his damage output.
This Faceless Void is having to play so scared. They're just taking over most of the map, and they also have the global presence too, right? It's on both sides. Bryle also having global presence, but this Nature's Prophet is almost always has a +1 with him wherever he goes, and that's very, very scary for any of these heroes on the side of Crazy, especially if they don't have a means of escape.
And they're basically playing the creep cutting game. AOI looking a little dead here.
I mean, he made him work for it a little bit that time.
That's the power of Scotty right there. Like, TB doesn't get that kill normally unless he uses meta, but with Scotty, he's got this free slow and a little bit of attack moving, and that's a dead hero. Looks like he grabbed the evasion talent as well. Butterfly is now picked up, and now Void does not have a good solution at killing him. A Mjolnir is going to give him 25% True Strike, but that is not going to feel like much when Terrorblade's walking around with like 45% evasion.
And that's only talking about something like a one-on-one fight. We're not even considering the fact that, Leo Style has 130 extra duel damage. You've got a Nature's Prophet who's got the Wrath of Nature and all the other things that Thunder Predator is packing right now. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, across the board, they're looking really effective. 6-0-1 on TB right now. They're going to try to re-control their jungle a little bit to invade this and possibly take a fight. But that's what's so hard. It all becomes the dance of showing up on team fights.
Well, the Aegis did just wear out. So, I mean,
Okay.
that's an advantage going over to the side of Crazy. But I still don't think you want to take this. Oh, especially not with a double damage rune. Hello, MNZ? What? Is that going to go to Leo Style? Is that the case?
Leo Style's basically making the enemy team scared. He's gotten so many dual kills that, like, if Crazy's sitting 2 people in their base and only 3 people out on the map that feel comfortable fighting.
You want this fight. Oh, God. And just like that, there was an HFN there, but he is dead. And now Owie's going to get taken down. The double damage gets activated over on MNZ. They'll chase him down, and they'll force the Rubik to go and Remnant into his own base.
This game looks very over. It just feels like they're making Crazy waste so much time. 2 players in base, the other 3 just standing in the jungle trying to look for a grab. And eventually they just get completely crushed with the Blade Mail duel.
Look how fast he's hitting, too. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, this is
Too
incredible.
fast,
It's
too
the 2
furious.
racks for sure. And even when they get up, I mean, the Rax is going to be dead by then. Deuce can do some good damage. This Glyph is going to buy some time. Maybe they'll save the tier 3. Oh my god.
MNZ has to be careful. This is a little too risky. The swap, though, saving the day. MJZ, good positioning. Sure, he was hovering over his R key pretty heavily there, feeling like MNZ's just a little bit too low.
Yeah, if that swap wasn't there, he definitely dies, I think, to Rubik, but good plays to keep him alive. Quickening Charm is the next neutral item. HFN's going to push up the top lane. Not again.
No! See you later, HFN.
They have perfect vision.
See you later, nerds.
And they called good game.
They call it.
It's so hard. Like, Legion owned this game in an extreme way. Like, Crazy did a really good job not feeding the Void. Or, sorry, not feeding with Zeus. They protected him pretty effectively, but every time they went on the map, they weren't getting as many kills and successes.